Today's ride I called the Mashpee Sand Trap. It's a fairly short ride, but definitely was a little bit on the underbike side on this one, meaning that hit a lot of sand and probably could use some wider tires.
Nice.
So on this little stretch, I'm going through the power line road, and there's a pretty steep little hill there, and was glad to make it up that. And then it's pretty flat after that, heading over to Orchard Road. So the plan for this ride was to use Asher's Path to get over to the area that I was planning to ride today. But as you can see here, there's a river in the way. I was thinking that there was going to be a bridge. Certainly I could have maybe ridden through this, or at least walked across it, but it was a pretty cold day, so I might revisit that another time.
Gravel road, yeah.
So plan B, I took Meeting House Road, which isn't too busy with cars, and headed up to Great Neck Road, and then into Mashpee Main Street. This is the bridge over the Mashpee River, and there is a herring run down here that I can briefly check out. Then continue up Main Street and then turn on Ashumet, which will take me up to the northern part of the off-road section I want to ride. This is Bearses Road, which turned out to be a pretty spicy area to ride.
This is nice gravel. A little bit of sand, but mostly nice gravel. Oh, it's getting sandy now. Backtrack. This is going to be very hard.
So that was a pretty sandy section of riding, so definitely could have used some wider tires on that. But made it through with minimal amount of walking, and then picked up this this kind of smaller road heading further south, and a little bit of a climb here, but overall a little bit easier riding.
Whew. That's a good little climb.
So that road eventually took me to an area that had a couple buildings there. I think that's some legacy operations from cranberry bogs that were in this area. And pretty sandy area. I found a little trail that took me up to this road. And this road turned out to be pretty sandy as well. And steep in places. Sand and steep is pretty tricky. So along that road, eventually you come to this little trail that leads to a pond. Pond has a really nice beach, and it's not as small a pond as it looks. This is actually a cove, and there's kind of a larger area in the distance that you just can't see fully.
Start.
I had a snack in water at the outlet of John's Pond, and then I found this little trail. Thought I would take it to head back to the general direction where I came from to make a loop.
Let's try. Let's keep going.
This trail turned out to be pretty rustic and lots of fallen trees, as you'll see. After getting through that rustic trail, I did find a bog road. Takes you back down to where the bogs are, that section I went through earlier.
It's back to the lake, isn't it? Dirt bikes in here.
Pretty interesting. This area used to be, essentially farmland for cranberries, and now it's just slowly going back to nature. Although it's going to take a long time for a lot of this to do that. Obviously, these roads
these are all old
still
bogs
being used
as well.
Will be legacy trails through these areas, but it's pretty amazing. Best I can tell, it was at least 20 years since these were actually farmed. Eventually I work my way down to about as far as I can go and run into a golf course, Washington Valley Country Club. And so I like to turn around
golf
here.
course.
There is a road that essentially takes you up and out of the bogs to the north, and that will get me back to paved roads. And this is the Quashnet River here.
That's a good sized
Pretty
river.
large river
Wow.
relative to some of the other rivers that are in this area. Rivers kind of
That's cool.
relative. These are pretty small actually, but Cape Cod's not a very large piece of land, so the watersheds are pretty small. So the roads I've been on after leaving Quashnet River have been pretty solid. Little sand, but not very much. And so eventually you work your way out back to pavement here. And then I'm going to head back up to 130, although I stop at this little trailhead here, which looks like another entry point to that same area that I was in, so I'll have to check that out in another ride. Since I had plenty of time, I thought I would come up here to Mashpee Pond and check it out. And I get the idea that maybe I can make it over to the boat ramp and just to see if I could. And sure enough, there was a little trail through the woods that was connecting the beach with this boat ramp. And the boat ramp itself has a road that takes you back out to 130. So now I'm heading into the Santuit Pond Preserve, which is an area that I've ridden and shown in previous videos, if you want to check those out. So I'm not detailing a lot of this as much as I normally would, but it's a nice place. It's fairly close to my home, so I like cruising through there. There's a little section that I walk up. It's really, really short. Just be too difficult to ride this uphill. then go through the bogs on the southeast corner of Santuit Pond,
Still ice here.
and that takes us to back to Santuit Newtown Road. After visiting Lovell's Pond, come up to 28. Always an eventful crossing in the afternoon, especially on a weekday. But to make it across without too much trouble. And this will bring us to back to the start of the ride. If you've made it this far, I appreciate you watching. Please leave a comment, like, and subscribe. See you next time.